Senate Bill 249 by Senator Hueso, an act relating to vehicles.
Senator Hueso.
Thank you, Mr. President. SB 249 is a bill that would create a program within the California Driver's License Program to embed a chip in the license to allow people to cross at international borders, Mexico and Canada. It's called the Enhanced Driver's License Program. The intended purpose of this program is to facilitate travel for Californians using a program authorized by federal law. Again, this would be to help to reduce border wait times. We have done studies along the border that suggest that reducing border wait times by a few hours or an hour can mean billions of dollars in annual growth in California's economy. It also means that vehicles will be idling less at the border, so it's also a fuel efficiency program. It's also a program intended to clean air quality, as vehicles are idling at the border for longer times. This means that the communities abutting those border crossings will also enjoy cleaner air. This bill is something that we've been working on for quite a while, building support out there in the community. And we believe that this is the time to get California traveling more efficiently across international borders. This will be a great program. It's an optional program for Californians to have. They can apply as an option to select the enhanced driver's license when they go to DMV and apply for this program. I urge your support for it. I'm very excited to present this bill on the floor today. It's received bipartisan support, and I hope we continue to work forward and put this on the governor's desk to help create a more prosperous place in California and to help travelers meet their objectives more efficiently, more effectively, and with a lot more ease. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Senator Hueso. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Aye. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. Nielsen. Wynn. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk.
Call
Aye.
absent members.
Anderson, no. Lada. Leno. Nilsen.
Ayes 34, noes 3. Measure passes. Members, let's move to file item 92. Senator Wolk. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 276 by Senator Wolk, an act relating to Medi-Cal.
Senator Wolk.
Thank you, Mr. President. SB 276 would conform to a recent federal policy reversal in December of 2014 by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, that could enable schools to take a lead role in managing chronic childhood diseases and result in the hiring of many more school nurses. The bill will allow local LEAs to bill for and receive reimbursement for qualified services for all Medi-Cal eligible students. That would include things such as school nursing, mental health and counseling, physical therapy, speech therapy, and many others. 276 has received bipartisan support, and there is no known opposition. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Wolk. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, is there any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, noes 0. Measure passes. Members, will move now to file item 93. Senator Hernandez. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 282 by Senator Hernandez, an act relating to healthcare coverage.
Thank you,
Senator
Mr. President.
Hernandez.
Members, this bill is a follow-up to SB 866, which was passed out of this committee in 2011 and was signed into law. This bill streamlined the electronic prior authorization process by establishing a standardized form for prescribers to use when requesting prior authorization. Since the passage of the bill, there have been new technologies that have been developed and allow electronic prior authorization to be more efficient and less expensive. This bill removes roadblocks to electronic prior authorization by permitting the use of innovative technologies to transmit prior authorizations such as software programs and web portals. This bill requires these new technologies to be consistent with a standardized form and adhere to the industry standards. This bill clarifies that these groups are exempt from provisions of this bill. There are certain groups, for example, physicians that are exempt using standardized forms because they have internal prior authorization programs within their physicians. With that, I respectfully ask for an aye.
Thank you, Senator Hernandez. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, is there any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Members, we'll now move forward to file item 95. Senator Cannella. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 296 by Senator Cannella, an act relating to Medi-Cal.
Senator Cannella.
Thank you, Mr. President. SB 296 will reduce billing documentation requirements that have become burdensome for both counties and providers of specialty mental health services. Counties and providers estimate that over 40 cents out of every dollar spent on mental health services goes to paperwork to document that services meet billing standards. In addition, agencies report when doing exit interviews with clinicians who leave for other types of employment, employees most frequently list paperwork as the main reason for departure. SB 296 will solve this problem by requiring the State Department of Health Care Services to develop a single set of billing documentation requirements for the provision of specialty mental health services by January 1st, 2017, for use commencing on July 1st, 2017. This bill also requires the department to update the requirements every 2 years. This bill has received unanimous support in both the Senate Health and Appropriations Committees, and I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Cannella. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, is there any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Members, we'll move forward now to file item 96. Senator Monning, Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 315 by Senator Monning, an act relating to healthcare and making appropriation therefor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I bring Senate Bill 315 with joint author Senator Hernandez to authorize the California Health Facilities Financing Authority to start a second round of healthcare innovation grants called CHAMP grants. The healthcare innovation grants that SB 315 enables will increase health access and improve clinical outcomes for vulnerable populations. And as a result, it will ultimately help the state achieve cost savings in our healthcare system. Members, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Monning. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Cannella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Hueso. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lara. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call absent members.
De Leon. Hueso. Huff. Lara. Leno. Nilsson.
Ayes 26, noes 8. Measure passes. File item 97, Senator Mitchell. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 316 by Senator Mitchell, an act relating to dependency proceedings.
Senator Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I'm here today to present Senate Bill 316, a bill that ensures that dependency court attorneys can properly serve the foster children they are appointed to represent. There are approximately 75,000 children in foster care in our state. Each is represented by a court-appointed attorney who is charged with the sole responsibility of advocating for their child's safety, protection, and physical and emotional well-being. For a child in foster care who's been removed from his or her home because of physical and emotional abuse or neglect, having a competent and dedicated attorney is critical. A child's attorney may be the best position to prevent horrific outcomes. Through the dependency court, the state makes decisions that have huge implications on the child's life and future, such as whether the child will ever return to his or her parents, be placed with siblings, where and with whom he or she will live, and what services he or she will receive. In 2008, a California Judicial Council study concluded that the basic caseload standard where the attorney is supported by a social work investigator is a maximum of 188 child clients, while the optimal should be 77. Yet in our state, overwhelming caseloads make it impossible for the dependency court-appointed attorneys to properly serve their child clients. In Delaware County, where the largest number of foster children in the state are served, the average dependency attorney's caseload is 300 children per lawyer. In 15 of California's counties, the caseloads are even higher. This bill will ensure that counsel representing a child or non-minor dependent will not have a caseload that exceeds 77 clients unless that counsel has the assistance of a social worker or investigator on a part-time basis. We believe the state has an obligation to the children in our foster care system to facilitate the best outcome possible for each child. A child cannot speak for themselves in dependency court, so it's imperative that we have representation that is not so overwhelmed that they cannot adequately represent the child in their basic needs. The bill has bipartisan support through the Policy Committee, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Mitchell. Members, any discussion or debate? Seeing none. Members, any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 35, no 0. Measure passes. Members, okay, let's move forward to file item 100. Senator Pavley. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 324 by Senator Pavley, an act relating to taxation.
Senator
Yes,
Pavley.
Members, thank you. This measure is co-sponsored by the California Disability Services Association, Autism Speaks, and the National Down Syndrome Society. Has support on both sides of the aisle. It's about implementing a program called ABLE. ABLE's an acronym for To Achieve a Better Life Experience, and applies tools for people with disabilities. Senate Bill 324 will establish an ABLE program within the Secretary Treasurer's Office to provide savings accounts options to Californians with disabilities. It's very similar to the college tax-free savings program for families if you have children going to college. This measure will help millions of individuals with disabilities lead a better life. Right now, they're straddled with trying to be mean tested if they receive SSI or other public benefits. It makes it not nearly impossible to provide for housing, medical expenses, transportation, and other costs. I respectfully ask for your aye vote for this bipartisan measure.
Thank you, Senator Pavley. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 36, no 0. Measure passes. File item 101, pass on file. Members, file item 102, not at his desk. File item 103, Senator Pavley. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 365 by Senator Pavley, an act relating to elections.
Senator Pavley.
Thank you very much. Senate Bill 365 will make voting more convenient for the public, help increase voter turnout, and ensure vote-by-mail drop-off locations are secure. This bill will simply clarify that counties are allowed to provide drop-off locations for vote-by-mail ballots. The measure is supported by the Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, California Voter Foundation, CalPERG, League of Women Voters, etc. Amendments taken in the Fiscal Committee strengthen the bill by providing a one-year deadline for the Secretary of State to develop model guidelines and include chain of custody, pickup times, proper labeling, and box security as necessary elements in these regulations. Counties can use these regulations to model their own county-specific guidelines for vote-by-mail drop-off locations. The bill has no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Pavley. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. No. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. No. Block. Aye. Canella. De Leon. Fuller. No. Gaines. No. Galgioni. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. No. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. Nielsen. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. No. Stone. Vidak. No. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk.
Secretary,
Okay.
please call the absent members.
Anderson. No. Canella. De Leon. Hernandez. Aye. Lada. Leno. Wynn. Nielsen. Stone. No.
Ayes 23, noes 11. Measure passes. Members, let's go to file item 104, Senator Block. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 369 by Senator Block, an act relating to education data systems.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 369 will create a new identifier for the pupils of military families in the CalPAD system. Although military children often experience educational challenges as a result of their parents' military service, California has no uniform method for tracking their attendance or their academic progress in our public schools. Currently, more than 60,000 school-age children affiliated with active duty service members attend school in California. Since 2009, the Department of Defense has provided over $30 million in grants to schools in California with military children to improve their academic performance. But we're told without this student identifier, it's difficult for schools to apply for these grants. SB 369 has enjoyed unanimous bipartisan support thus far in the Senate. Support includes the California PTA, the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Marine Corps, and numerous veterans organizations. There's no opposition. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Block. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 36, noes 0. Measure passes. Members, we'll move to file item 105. Senator Mitchell. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 388 by Senator Mitchell, an act relating to health care coverage.
Senator Mitchell.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and members. This bill will require that the summary of benefits and coverage document is made available in critical threshold languages by geographic area and clarifies that the SBC must be translated in languages that reflect California's demographics. The summary of benefits and coverage details what is covered under a health plan, explains coverage limitations, and provides definitions of key terms to consumers to help them elevate and compare their health insurance options. Unfortunately, because of a technicality in federal law, health plans are only required to translate this vital document into 4 languages. Spanish, Chinese, Navajo, and Tagalog. This bill will help ensure that all plans adhere to California's language access laws. This bill is supported by the Asian Law Alliance, the Latino Coalition for a Healthy California, and Western Center on Poverty, and others. This bill has no opposition and received unanimous bipartisan support in Policy Committee. I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Mitchell. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to the unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 36. Oops, excuse me. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hall, aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Hill. Aye. Weso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Leno. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Aye. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Hertzberg. Aye. Lada. Leno. Nilsson.
Ayes 36, no 0. Measure passes. Members, we'll move to file item 106. Senator Hill. Excuse me. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 396 by Senator Hill, an act relating to health care.
All right, Mr. President and members. SB 396 would allow ambulatory surgical clinics, which are Medicare certified, to have the option of being licensed by the Department of Public Health. The primary reason for allowing ambulatory surgical clinics to be licensed is because the department currently has jurisdiction over ambulatory surgical clinics which have Medicare certification, and yet, because of a legal decision, they were no longer allowed to license these clinics. After the legal decision, the only recourse these clinics had was to become accredited, which places them under the medical board's jurisdiction. By allowing licensure with the department, the ambulatory surgical clinics will now be under the oversight of one agency and not have to meet dual and multiple requirements for operating in California. I respectfully ask for your aye vote, members.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to a unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Looks like 108. File item 108, Senator Stone. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 417 by Senator Stone, an act relating to elections.
Thank you, Mr. President, honorable colleagues. I stand before you with SB 417. Some of our largest counties in the state are the last to report election results because of their large geographical size. SB 417 will allow counties that are greater than 2,500 square miles to pick up ballots during the election day before the polls close to begin the counting process. Under present law, ballots must remain at the polling place until the polls close. This bill requires the Secretary of State to establish guidelines for these early pickups, ensuring that ballots have legal custodial oversight and are appropriately transported to an election center in the respective county, and results cannot legally be made public until the polls are officially closed. Counties benefiting by this law include 21 counties: Imperial, San Diego, Riverside, San Diego, Los Angeles, Kern, Inyo, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, Monterey, Tulare, Fresno, Mono, Mendocino, Humboldt, Tehama, Plumas, Lassen, Trinity, Modoc, and Siskiyou. This bill, if passed into law, only authorizes a county to participate in this new protocol and does not mandate that they do so. Many rural, larger counties may not participate as much as larger, more populated counties, like LA, San Diego, San Bernardino, Kern, and Riverside counties. Thank you for your consideration of this common sense bill, and I urge you to vote aye. And I vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Stone. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to the use of our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Members, moving along in the file to item 109, Senator Pan, pass on file. File item 110, Senator Hernandez, pass on file. File item 112, Senator Hernandez, pass on file. File item 113, Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 465 by Senator Hill, an act relating to professions and vocations.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, SB 465 extends the operation of the Contractor State License Board for 4 years and makes minor changes to the board's operations. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, would anybody object to unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. File item 114, Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 466 by Senator Hill, an act relating to nursing.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, SB 466 is the Board of Registered Nursing's sunset bill. This bill will resolve concerns regarding credit for military education and experience and appoints an enforcement program monitor to oversee the Board of Registered Nursing's disciplinary system. Also, this bill presently does not extend the BRN's sunset date, but I look forward to replacing it once we have confidence that the BRN accepts the sunset review recommendation and improves its governance. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Moving to file item 115, Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 467 by Senator Hill, an act relating to professions and vocations.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, SB 467 is another sunset bill which deals with the Department of Consumer Affairs, the Attorney General's Office, and the Accountancy Board. This measure will require the department to receive approval of the legislature to levy any pro rata charges on any of the licensing boards for administrative expenses. It will require the Attorney General's Office to submit specified reports and information to the legislature regarding disciplinary cases referred to their office, and it will require the health-related boards to work with the department and its investigative unit in prioritizing the complaints they receive for investigation. In terms of the Accountancy Board, the bill will extend the sunset date to 2020 and also allow the board to place certain practice restrictions on an accountant based on disciplinary action taken against them by the board. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Any debate or discussion, members? Seeing none, is there any objection to unanimous roll call? Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Members, moving now to file item 116. Senator Leyva, Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 477 by Senator Leyva, an act relating to state government and making appropriation therefore.
Senator Leyva.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, members. SB 477 would simply reinstate the mobile home owners eligible participants in California's property tax postponement program. This bill has received no votes, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Leyva. Any debate or discussion? Senator Stone.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to commend Senator for SB 477. I have a number of mobile home parks, senior parks in my district, as I know there are many throughout the state of California. And this is a great program that allows our seniors to stay in their homes. And so I urge an aye vote as well.
Thank you, Senator Stone. Any further debate or discussion? Seeing none, Senator Leyva, you may close.
Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Members, is there any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. File item 117, Senator Vidak. Pass on file. Item 118, Senator Hertzberg. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 500 by Senator Hertzberg, an act relating to taxation.
Senator Hertzberg.
You know, members, this is one of those bills that make you feel good about government. I just want you to know, and it's not my idea. As chair of the Governance and Finance Committee, the Franchise Tax Board, in an effort to streamline their processes, came to us with a pretty common sense idea. Under current law, employers are coming to California, whether they're at a convention or a seminar or the like, are required to pay taxes and collect taxes for their employees. Basically, what this measure does, the chilling effect and the red tape caused by the expense outweighs the costs of actually collecting the money. Many other states have reciprocal agreements, and according to the Franchise Tax Board, this results in an annual revenue of only about $200,000, and again, their costs exceed this. I respectfully ask for your vote on this measure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Hertzberg. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, is there any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none. Ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. File item 119, Senator Hernandez. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 503 by Senator Hernandez, an act relating to health care coverage.
Senator Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, this bill deletes an obsolete notice that informs individuals leaving group coverage about the challenges that previously existed prior to the Affordable Care Act when individuals were attempting to buy health insurance in the individual market. Since premiums cannot be based on health status and individuals cannot be denied coverage based on pre-existing conditions, the notice is no longer helpful. Instead, the bill replaces the notice with information about the availability of coverage through Medi-Cal and Covered California. Members, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, is there any objection to the use of our unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. File item 122, Senator Fuller. Pass on file. File item 123, Senator Roth. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 536 by Senator Roth, an act relating to armories.
Senator Roth.
Thank you, Mr. President, colleagues. Senate Bill 536 authorizes the California Military Department, in coordination with the Department of General Services, to divest and dispose of 7 National Guard armories in our state. The armories identified have reached the end of their useful life and are no longer practical or safe for California National Guard soldiers to assemble or train in. The ongoing maintenance cost required for these facilities depletes the Guard's limited maintenance budget. The military department plans to sell these armories and deposit the net proceeds into the state armory fund to be used for the future renovation and repair of operational armories. Today, you may not know this, but we have over 100 operational National Guard armories in the state. Many of them were built over 60 to 70 years ago, and as a result, among other things, many of them lack adequate restrooms and change facilities for our female soldiers. They clearly require some level of rehabilitation at a cost of about $2 million each. We need to get started with this process, and this is a way to generate some revenue to do just that. So I suggest we get started. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Roth. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, any objection to using our unanimous roll call? Seeing none, ayes 37, no 0. Measure passes. Moving to file item 124, Senator Wolk. Secretary, please read.